95% of our life is controlled by the unconscious, the subconscious of your mind. 95%, that's huge. So when it comes to what you wear, well, you know how you have that clicking feeling that, or even sometimes we say people judge us, how can they, etc. And you judge them, by the way, because it's unconscious. Well, something happens in the mind. When you meet somebody, an exchange happens without even saying a word. And so what are those things that are exchanged? Well, we make 11 major decisions about people we encounter, and they do the same about us. 11 major decisions. I'm not the one who said that. It's Harvard and New York University. What are those 11 major decisions that are made in just 7 seconds? Let's see what they are together. First, economic level, educational level, competence, honesty, believability, credibility, sexual identification, level of sophistication, trustworthiness, level of success, religious background, political background, social, sexual, professional desirability. Of course, here it depends on the context, and ethnic backgrounds. Now, depending on the situation you are in, whether it's personal or professional, the priority of those 11 major decisions can differ. But these are what people decide when they actually see you, and what you decide when you see them. So how can we gather those informations? I wonder, those decisions that the mind makes, I'm sure you want to know how. So for me, we take in consideration the A, B, C, D, E of image. A being the appearance, what the appearance tells us, what colors, what level of clothes someone is wearing, etc. Everything that has to do with appearance, how you're standing is part of it. B is the behavior. How do you react with that person? Do you go towards them? Do you escort them? Do you smile? Do you stand up? Do you sit down before they do, etc.? C is for communication. And here communication is not only what you say and how you say it, because that's also important, the tone of voice, etc. But it's an email, it's a phone conversation, it's your tone of voice, etc., etc. Now the D is for digital impact. Nowadays, we look up people before we even encounter them or meet them. So what does that do to your mind is you put a person in a category. You have a respect, you feel like they don't look the part, etc., etc. So you Google them, we have to be aware of that. And the E is their environment. So if you see them in an environment that is not tidy, it is very disorganized, you will kind of decide that you cannot trust them, maybe, because if they cannot be in control of their desk or the cleanliness of their car, or depending on whatever you have around them, then you make also some judgment about that. Isn't that amazing? So I want, as appearance specialist and as a fashion designer, tell you how can you make people believe you, trust you, and feel you credible with your clothes. The number one thing you have to remember is that the darker the color of what you are wearing is, the more credible and trustworthy and presence you will have in any environment. Then the more lighter your clothes are, then you are more likable. Isn't that amazing? If you just remember that dark is credible, white is likable, and that's the intensity of the color, by the way, and then you work depending on your situation, where you want to be, then you work on what is needed, what can help you in where you are right now. If this is for business, never show up in a very light color as a first encounter with anybody, whether it's an audience, whether they are through a screen. Like right now, I'm wearing dark because the first impact should be credibility. And then little by little, once that bond is done, once that you already made them feel that you are, and because you know who you are, right? You don't need to do it, but they need to trust you because they need to be working with you. They need to know that they are in good hands, right? It's not about only what you feel. Although when you actually are wearing something and you know you look credible, that gives you also the boost that you need. Now, if we put it on a scale between 0 and 10, 0 being white, likable, and then 10 being black, credible, depending on where you want to be, professional environment needs to be between 4 and 10. Once this is really strong as a feeling, as an unconscious that you already established, that credibility, that trust that you need with people, then you go to lighter colors. So when you go to your closet, and I call closet a communication center, remember, before you choose the item that you want, first choose the color, depending on how you want to be perceived, and then choose the item. That's it for today, and I'll be seeing you next week. Check the link below to know what are the tools that you actually can have to have your appearance work for you. Check for the link, and I'll see you there.